right, y'all. It's counting down.
Put your video up.
Huh?
Presentation.
All right, let me know when you see it.
Yes.
Hello, sixth graders. I am Mrs. Antone, your sixth grade assistant principal, and welcome to David T. Howard Middle School. We are the sixth grade Rams, and today your sixth grade leadership team will be providing information to you to orient you to your sixth grade year so that you can have a smooth year. And at this time, before we get started, we're going to play just a short clip to introduce you to all of our sixth grade leaders. All right. All right, sixth grade. So we're going to go back to the presentation. And that was just a little treat for you to introduce you up close and personal to your sixth grade leadership team, since we can't reach out and touch you guys. And so we want to share, I'm sharing it with you again. Let me go back to the presentation. Okay. All right, let's go to the next slide here. All right, there we go. So we want to start out with our mission, and the mission of David T. Howard Middle School is that we are a high-performing middle school that offers experiences that inspire and engages all students to love learning and strive to become responsible, college and career-ready citizens. We are also a PBIS school, and PBIS stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Support. This encompasses all of our school-wide expectations. And our school-wide expectations are, and if you can remember the acronym RAMS, RAMS, you can remember our school-wide expectations, which are rising to the challenge, always doing our best, making a difference, and striving for success. We also want you to remember that RAMs rise up every student, every classroom, every day. So once we get back to the halls, or if I pop into one of your classrooms and I ask any one of you to tell me what are our school-wide expectations, I expect for you to be able to tell me, well, it's RAMs. We rise to the challenge, we always do our best, we make a difference, and we strive for success. You'll hear Principal Maxwell every morning in the morning announcements say this to make sure that we all understand what those school-wide expectations are. And we're also having incentives throughout the year as we get into positive behavior interventions and supports. Just an introduction to our school administrative team, we have an assistant principal at every grade level. If you look at the picture from right to left, the principal is Dr. Kevin Maxwell. You'll see seventh grade assistant principal, Mrs. Sarita Allen. You'll see myself, Mrs. Joy Antone, sixth grade assistant principal. And front and center, you'll see our superintendent of APS schools. She is the leader of all of the schools in our school system, and that's Dr. Lisa Herring. We also have a school business manager, Ms. Shonda Beatles. She works very, very closely with Dr. Maxwell. And we also have our 8th grade assistant principal, Dr. Geraldine Harper. There are a few other people that you may need to know at DT Howard who does a lot for all of us at every grade level. You have Mrs. Tanisha Poe. She's our school technology specialist. And if you ever had to get a device or your device was broken or something happened to it, needed Wi-Fi, she is always available. She's a technology superstar, and she makes sure that you have all the technology assistance that is needed. She also supports our teachers with instructional technology, making sure that we're able to integrate really good technology within our lessons. We also have Miss Asha Hall Washington, who is our school CELT, and Miss Terrion Randolph, a school social worker. Now, as for me, I've been in education for 25 years, and this is my 3rd year at Inman/Howard Middle School. I will be working very closely with 6th grade instructional practices, and so you will see me in and out of your classrooms every week. I do work along with the PBIS team and the school climate team. And also, we will be starting a group this year called the 6th grade Rambassadors. And so you'll hear more information about that in the event that you would like to join this group. I am also the NTSS / 504 administrator. And if you need to reach me, you can always use the 6th grade student RAMS Google Drive, where we put information every day and make sure that we attend to your needs. Just hit me up there, message me, whatever you need to do. My email is also in view here. But that is me, Ms. Antone. And now you will hear from our Dean of Students.
Good afternoon, young ladies and young gentlemen. I'm Mrs. Head. I am your 6th grade Dean of Students. I have been in education now for 20 years, and this is my 8th year with Inman Howard Middle School. It is just a pleasure to be here with you all and to have you all with us. I am responsible for discipline. Also, I am the 504 contact person for 6th grade, PBIS, SEL, which is social emotional learning, restorative practices, so I'm a conflict resolver, and also Saturday school. Saturday school is our alternative to out of school suspension. So we learn lots of that, we do lots of activities, and we learn how to resolve conflicts and make better decisions. And I'm also responsible for helping to develop your advisory lessons. Glad to have you here with us.
Hey everybody, my name is Chelsea Schultz, Ms. Schultz. I am your 6th grade counselor. This is my 3rd year at Inman, well, my 1st year at Howard, but 3rd year. I do individual counseling, group counseling. Mrs. Head and I work closely together to make sure that you guys are supported with your social and emotional needs, and I make sure that your schedule is correct. Make sure that you have the classes that you need. You know, I like to think that I'm a place where you can go if you have any questions, and I can help get you some answers. I do help navigate No Place for Hate at our school, and I'm excited to have you guys this year.
Good afternoon. We just want to welcome you guys to Howard Middle School, and we're so excited to have you. And my name is Mrs. Melissa Hatcher. I have been teaching for 20 years, just like Miss Head, and this is my 8th year also at Inman/Howard Middle School. I could be one of your science teachers, but I teach science at Howard on Team 6-3, and we're so excited to have you.
Alrighty, so this is just a little one-pager that shows you who all of our 6th grade teachers are. So Miss Hatcher is our 6th grade lead teacher. Mr. Abernathy is our connections lead teacher. So some of you guys might have Coach Abernathy for PE right now. 6-1, team 6-1 is Miss Hurt for language arts, Miss Jackson for math, Mr. Ford for science, Miss Edson for social studies. For 6-2, we have Dr. Mitchell for ELA. We have Miss Jost for math. We have Miss Coker for science, and then we have Mr. Doherty for social studies, team 6-3. We have Miss Miller for language arts. We have Miss Smith for math, Miss Hatcher for science, and Mr. Taylor for social studies. And then last but not least, we have team 4. We have Miss Lonza for language arts. We have Miss Damiani for math. We have Mr. Brooks for science. We got just a little typo there, guys. And then we have Miss Gibson for social studies. Off to the side there, we do have our special education support staff. So we have Miss Littman, Miss Swan, and Mr. Williams that you might see around. Some of you guys might have Miss Jimenez and Miss Stern in your classes, and then we have Miss Melton as well. One thing to remember is that some of you guys might be completely on team, meaning you might have all of the teachers from team 1, or you might have all of the teachers from team 3. Well, some students might cross team, meaning that they might have 2 teachers from team 1 and 2 teachers from team 3. That's completely normal, and that's fine if that is the case for you. Just know that that is a completely normal schedule to have. And we can go to that next slide. Okay, so connections, these are your connections. So I'm not going to go through and name all of the teachers because I know you guys can see them, but we do have our connections divided up into categories. So again, Coach Abernathy is going to be our connections lead. We do have our PE coaches. So you have 3 different coaches that you might have. We have our fine arts department, which we have course, band, orchestra, art, and dance. We have our world language department, which is Spanish, Latin, and French. We have our reading, math, and science support section. So we have Dr. Warner, Ms. Varner, Ms. Quarles, Dr. Krim for the different subjects, and Ms. Finkelstein. And then we have our CTAE, which is kind of like our tech classes, and our JLC. So as you guys will see, and as you guys will rotate throughout the years or throughout the school year, we have a lot of really fun connection classes for you guys to look forward to. So this slide is talking about 6th grade communication. So the first part, the 6th grade remind, that is just for parents. So parents, if you haven't already, you can download the Remind 101 app, and you can sign up to receive our Rising Rams important information. So to do that, you'll open up your phone and you will text the @DTH Rams to the number 81010. And again, that's just for parents. And then for students, if you haven't already, I know that a lot of teachers have been talking about this in your advisory and your other classes, but please make sure that you are joined on the 6th grade Rams Google Classroom. The code is at the bottom, FPPV5TY. That will get you added into our 6th grade Google Classroom for the Rams. It is a requirement to be in that Google Classroom because that is a place where myself, Miss Antone, and Miss Head, and Dr. Maxwell and Miss Poe will all be sharing important information in there. We update that daily, and we expect you guys to check that daily. And we also respond to things on there. And then what we have here is we have a copy of our virtual school schedule. So what I think is really helpful is to have a copy of that open at all times. I tell students to have 2 tabs open at all times. Your first tab will be your virtual school schedule. Your second tab will be Google Classroom. If you have both of those, then you should be able to navigate and figure out where you're supposed to be. You guys might notice that the times on your schedule on Infinite Campus are different than the times that are on your virtual school schedule. Please make sure that you are following the virtual school schedule while we are virtual. The times that you see on your schedule on Infinite Campus are when we are back in the building. Please make sure that you guys are following the virtual school schedule. We make sure that we have brain breaks built into there for you guys so that you have time to get up, get a snack, get water, walk around, take a breather. Our suggestion is walk away from the computer. take time to make sure that you are, maybe go outside for a second, just do something so that your eyes get a break from the computer. And then we do have 45 minutes for lunch. One thing that I think is really important to remember is that you have connections every day, and connections are a mandatory class. It is not optional. You need to attend your connections classes every single day. So from 1:35 to 2:05, you'll go to your first connections A. You get a brain break. And then from 2:15 to 2:45, you'll go to your second connections B. Remember, that is every day. We need to make sure that you are attending every single day. And then at the end of the day, from 2:45 to 3:30, your teachers and myself, we hold office hours, and that's a time for you to check in with your teachers if you have any lingering questions that you didn't get to ask in class, if you need help with an assignment, if you want to check in with your teacher about something, or if you want to check in with me about something. We have that designated time for you guys. I know that it's a lot of moving parts, but I'm hopeful that after the first 5 days, we feel a little bit more comfortable understanding kind of what our days look like.
Advisory. So you all attend advisory every day. As Ms. Schultz said, it is mandatory. And there you'll notice that you've been doing some community building activities, such as getting to know your teachers getting to know you getting to know each other. And that's what's important as a part of advisory. Also, you're learning some of the history of David T. Howard and how this school came to be, as well as you will have incentives for PBIS in advisory. We have things such as dance parties, ice cream socials, game days. So the list goes on. And these are some of the things that we do cover in advisory.
Also, students, we will be conducting data conferences and goal setting. The goal of our middle school is to make sure that you are prepared for high school. And so through our data conferences, the principal, assistant principals, your counselors, the deans, your teachers, all support staff come together and we sit down and we conference with each of you as an individual student to look at your status as a student when it comes to grades, behavior, attendance, and anything else as it relates to you as a student. Even your assessment data with Georgia Milestones, STAR, or any assessments that you're taking in class, because we want you to know where you are when you start the school year. And our goal is to do it at least 3 times a year so you can set goals and make sure that there's growth throughout the year. Also, we will, during this time, when we get started at this point of the year, we will be providing interventions and extensions for students. This is mandatory because we are a school-wide professional learning community, and it is our goal to make sure that we help each and every student with your academic needs. Attendance is mandatory to advisory every day, as we do have things planned for you. Oftentimes there's a lot of information that will be delivered to you in this particular setting, and oftentimes we set incentives during this time as well when we're celebrating positive behavior. So advisory is a time that is very, very important to us. Also, even though this is virtual learning, the focus on learning hasn't changed. We want to make sure that you set up structure at home and that you align your home schedule with your school schedule. You always want to start the day with getting dressed and eating breakfast and end the day with some sunshine. It's a lot to sit at your computer all day long. That is definitely mentally draining. So we encourage you to get up during those brain breaks, walk outside, whatever you need to do just to kind of get away from that computer, and then make sure you're back on time. Your daily attendance is extremely important. Attendance is taken in every period, every day. And so we also want to make sure that if you know you're not going to be in attendance to a class, make sure you and your parent communicates with your teachers why you were absent so that you can be coded correctly. We need to know whether it was an excused or unexcused absence. Even if you're having problems with technology, make sure you communicate with your teachers why you are not in attendance. Make sure that your workspace is in a place where you have limited or no distractions. I know I have kids at home and sometimes they don't clean their rooms like they're supposed to. If you're dreading having your camera on and making sure that no one sees, your room, sit up against the wall on the floor so that no one, has to see what you have in your room. But do make sure you work out what your workspace will be. And also, you want to make sure you have a common place to put your work when you're not using your school items. And most importantly, your access to technology is your access to instruction. So make sure that you charge your device nightly and limit screen time so that you have a healthy balance. When we look at academic expectations, do know that on next week, we will be administering the STAR assessment in reading and math. It is a growth reflection. And from that data, we will also be looking at Lexals. What is a Lexal? Well, a Lexal is basically when we look at your score, for example, let's say you had a 997 Lexal. That is the lower part of the scale where we want to see our students. All of our sixth graders by the end of the year should be between 997 and 1070 Lexile. It is basically how well you read and comprehend complex text. And that is going to be very important for you throughout your school career, throughout life. And so when your teachers are providing reading assignments, if you're reading books, whatever the case, we want to make sure that you read on a daily basis so that your Lexile can continue to grow. The Georgia Milestones is a state administered assessment that we normally give each year. Due to COVID-19, we're not sure at this point if we will or will not be giving the EOG this year, the Georgia Milestones. But if we do, it will be in the areas of ELA and math. And when we take that assessment, we look for level 3 to level 4, which is proficient or distinguished. And we also look for growth from year to year. So not only are we looking to see if you're proficient, in terms of your reading and your math curriculum and standards this year, but we want to see if you have grown as a student. With your connections classes, we know that a lot of times those classes are a lot of fun, but we also want you to know that each connections class is just as important as your core academic classes, such as ELA, math, science, and social studies. You must have a passing average of 70 in your connections classes. And students, you will have a total of 4 connections classes for the year, unless you are enrolled in a year-long class like band or chorus, okay? First semester averages, you want your averages to be above 70, and your second semester averages, you want them to be above 70. But what is a semester? So we have 4 quarters in a year. And when you look at the first 2 quarters, you want to make sure that whatever grade you receive from each of your teachers, whether it be connections or core, you want to make sure that during the first quarter and the second quarter, that it averages to be above 70. And then when you look at your second quarter and your third quarter, you're going to make, that is actually the second semester, and you want to make sure that whatever grade you receive from your third quarter and your fourth quarter in each of your classes, that it averages to be above 70. So just make sure you read every day so that we're able to grow those Lexiles and that you can do well in each of your classes. For STAR testing, it will be on next week. In math, it will actually start on Monday, August 31st, and Tuesday, September 1st. ELA will be on September 2nd and Thursday, September 3rd. Now, this is an assessment that we give in the fall, which will start next week, the winter and the spring, because we are looking for growth. Remember, we talked about the data conferences. Well, this is one of the things that we will be looking at, and we will be talking to you about goal setting and where you want to be over the course of this year when you take the STAR. So I encourage you to make sure that the night before you get plenty of rest, make sure you go to bed, get up, eat breakfast, and be ready to get going on Monday. Because this test will inform instructional practices in the classroom. It determines what type of academic support we should provide to you. And we also use it to set goals. And it is reviewed by your teachers, your counselors, your deans, the assistant principals, and the principals. So make sure that you do your best.
PBIS expectations, Rams rising to the challenge, always doing your best, making a difference, striving for success. I do want to focus on the classroom and technology today. With the classroom, making sure that you're following directions, the directions of your teachers. Treat others properly and with respect. Treat the property with respect, dressed appropriately for school, and use the appropriate volume, tone, and language with others. Always be prepared and in your seat when class begins. Keep your personal space clean. And when in school, make sure that all of your personal devices are silenced and out of sight. When you want to make a difference, raise your hand in order to talk during discussions. And always turn your work in completed and on time. Striving for success, maintain your personal space and report unsafe or harmful activities. Now with technology, make sure you keep it clean and you cooperate with adults when they ask you about your technology or for it. Carry your technology with care, take care of it. Make sure that it's charged and ready for learning. And use your camera and video tools appropriately and with permission. Now, making a difference. This is very important right at this moment as I speak, because it says, think before you post. Our chat in our YouTube is going off. It is super busy right now. Please think before you post, ladies and gentlemen, because you are still in school right now. So it's important that you monitor what you're posting and not to be disrespectful. Stand up to cyberbullying. And striving for success, always keep your passwords and your personal information private. Report anything that is abusive or harmful. Our virtual expectations. Next slide. Our virtual school expectations. This is school. We may be virtual, but it's still school. Follow your virtual schedule. Attend your Zoom classrooms. And also know that we will use Google Meet as a backup, just in case if something happens with Zoom. Make sure you attend daily and you're on time again and you stay engaged in a lesson. Try to keep your cameras on and follow the APS dress code. Don't forget to check the 6th grade Rams Google Classroom daily. And if you have not joined, make sure you join. The code is on the screen. Make sure you avoid posting or sharing any inappropriate material, whether it's publicly or privately. And if in doubt, before posting, message your teacher for guidance. Avoid engaging in inappropriate chatting and texting. And don't forget to remain focused on your assigned task. Action steps for students who violate online Google Classroom expectations. The first step is parent contact. The second step, students and parents will receive an administrative letter of redirection. And the third step is a formal disciplinary referral. This action may result in the student being removed from the online Zoom class platform, or it could result in the incident being recorded on the student's official disciplinary record.
All right, students. So we will have what we call a 6th grade Rambassadors group this year. This is a group of 6th grade students who set the tone for a welcoming environment, virtual environment right now, and it will serve as the student voice for 6th grade. Student Rambassadors will also assist in deciding PBIS incentives for the 2021 school year and also present 6th grade issues and recommendations to the assistant principal. We also like to include community service, leadership opportunities, and normally we meet once a month with a working lunch during the school day. We want to see at least one Rambassador per advisory class. There will be a link that will be posted in the 6th grade Rams Google Classroom by September 10th, and interviews will follow. So if you have any questions about that, you can always reach out to us in the 6th grade Rams Google Classroom or email myself, Mrs. Antone. So students, we hope that this information was very helpful to you. We look forward to working with each and every one of you this year. We also would like to see who's going to step out and be our 6th grade Rambassador leaders this year. And we just want you to do the right thing and be great. We are here to support you. Make sure you're on that 6th grade Rams Google Classroom. Make sure your parents sign up for our 6th grade Remind. And just know that you have all of these people here who are with you to support you. We've got you. Because remember, Rams rise up, every student, every classroom, every day. Thank you and have a great weekend, 6th grade Rams. I think I stopped sharing. Hold on.